Right, channel of light fluid. Welcome back to Dawn Chorus. This came out a couple of weeks ago. I've just to get to it now. Of course, we're carrying on with Bjorn's route, which is the one I'm doing on the videos in this, but I'm reading other things, and this is a good story. So I'm just going to jump back into it. We left Arvo and Bjorn together. Arvo's about to start reading Bjorn's notebook. So without further ado, let's get back into it. My eyes are heavy. I have to open them. It'd be so easy to just stay here in bed all day. What's out there for me anyway? Classes I'll inevitably fail. People from my year have nothing in common with and more humiliations. Wait. It's not my room. It all comes back to me slowly through the fog. My mind gathers a stray pieces of information to something coherent before I remember. I'm in the guest house. It's the third night of the camp. So it's not classes, it's lectures and socializing. I don't want to go out to people. Next to the others here, I feel so incompetent. I'm so tired of disappointing everyone and myself. Reality is cut into a grid in which I don't fit. I'm always somewhere between the lines. I can never find a place I could shine in. A ray of light cuts through the clouds and shines into the room through the translucent curtain. And I notice I'm not alone here. There's a weight next to me on the bed, pressed against my back. A valve turns and my heart fills with hope. Arvo. The voice echoed from behind me. A call, a consolation. It said, Arvo. And again, timidly, after a pause. And I reply, Bjorn. I don't think I have a favourite writer. Not at the moment, at least. All my favourites do things differently. I like them for different reasons. I've been reading a lot of Susan Mondak lately. She's an essayist, and I often disagree with her, but I like her ideas. They're always radical.
Oh, an essayist? I haven't read much non-fiction. I'm mostly interested in stories.
There are very good stories in journalism. I'm more inclined to non-fiction. I think it's closer to some universal truths.
Oh, I don't know if I would agree.
It's a beautiful day. The snowfall has stopped so I can look up at the sky, clouded but so pretty. The wind in my fur makes me feel so alive. I like listening to these two. I read sometimes, but nowhere as much as them. Their conversations make me want to pick up a few new books right away.
And you, Arvo?
I'm not sure I have a favourite writer either. I've been through a few books I enjoyed in the last few years, but none has changed my life. I've mostly been going to recommendations I find online. I rarely read more than one book by the same author, even if I like it.
Why?
There's too many books, truly. Centuries of works written already. So many books coming out each year. How do I choose from these?
Well, you told me how you're going through artists' whole discographies, so it's surprising me a bit. What about the choice? If you're stuck at choosing for too long, then you're wasting the time you could spend reading. Anyway, how about we look for some food? Sorry, but I haven't had anything since the morning.
Oh, I've been meaning to ask the same thing. I'm starving already. I'm meeting with friends for dinner already, but next time, definitely.
I hope so. You owe us one. Did you have some place in mind, Arvo?
I didn't, but I could look around for something. I grab my phone and open the map. A notification in the corner grabs my attention. I rarely get text messages. I open the app and see Lake's name. Hey, want to eat at a Korean place? Inviting a few people. My treat. Oh, did you get a message from Lake, maybe?
Oh, I did.
Interested in dinner at the Korean place with Lake and the rest?
The rest?
I'm not sure. I'm assuming Jürgen and maybe Travis. Torolf, possibly. I'm not sure who he's friends with.
Well, sounds promising.
I think we can go. I'll walk you there and I'll be on my way. Maybe I'll check out the bookstore if I have the time. Bjorn told me it's very good.
Oh, it is. Definitely go. I think they had a whole room dedicated to essays.
I've got the location. It's not far from here. We just have to go towards the town square and then to the left. And we go between the colourful houses, a conversation like a song between us, weaved with three voices. There's life and light in these cute streets, and the illuminated storefronts and restaurant interiors seem to shine brighter as we pass them with laughter in our throats. Arvo, Bjorn, I'm so happy you came. Hey, thank you for inviting us. Hello, Miko. Hey, good to see you here as well. Oh, it smells so delicious here. Most of the smells I can't even identify, exotic and enticing. There's lemongrass, curry leaves, kaffir. There's tofu, there's fish, and the sweet smell of fried shrimp.
Oh, well, we fit here. How many people did you invite?
Only you, Jürgen, with Travis and Rune. Rune said he's not hungry though, so it'll be the six of us. I hope he isn't angry at me still. He didn't seem to want to talk at all.
Huh? Well, what did you do?
I kinda knocked his phone into the ocean. Not on purpose, but still. I won't be surprised if he wouldn't want to talk with me again. Oh, accidents happen. I'm sure he knows that. Maybe he was in a bad mood this morning. Not much I can do now, I guess. Still, we're here to have some good food. Take a look at the menu if there's something you want. We all sit down around the table, me and Bjorn picking the spot in the window, sitting shoulder to shoulder. It's comforting to have him so close. He seems to be at ease as well, a gentle smile on his face. On the table are fancy hardcover menus, and Bjorn grabs two, passing one to me. Just 3 pages. That's a good sign from what I've heard.
What's the occasion, by the way? It's not every day I get treated to food.
There's the need to be one. It's the last time we're in the town on the trip, so I thought we could do something special to remember. And Korean food's the best to share. I was thinking we could get a hot pot and cook some food together. What do you think? Oh, that sounds lovely. I've always wanted to try, but never had the chance. Haven't seen places serving it anywhere in Finland. You know, Anslo, well, I couldn't really afford visiting places. Yeah, I feel you.
Well, life isn't too generous for students, is it? Well, I'm glad we have canteens.
I'm glad we have Lake. By the way, are you sure? Isn't it too much strain on your wallet? As I said, I want to do something special for the end of the trip. I want time with you all and fond memories. If you'd like to chip in, I'd be glad. I can for sure. I love the idea. And a hot pot sounds fantastic. I love those. I think I like a mushroom set and a kimchi stew. They go very well together. Mushrooms. Hey everyone, hope you didn't wait for us. The duo walks up to our table, Travis an excited sparkle in his eye, Jürgen keeping behind him with an indifferent expression. Hard to read as always. We're still deciding what to order. Go on, sit down, grab a menu. Where were you, by the way? Travis took me for ice cream. I've tried them for the first time. Found a nice ice cream shop at the shore, bought ourselves a few flavours and went for a walk. They had fudge and bilberries. I think that's the most genius combination I've ever tried. I preferred pistachio. It was transcendental. Ice cream in this weather? Oh, what's wrong with that? It's cold enough outside. You don't need ice cream to get even colder. But ice cream is the best in winter. It doesn't melt and it stays firm. Anyway, I was just looking at the menus. I've seen the way to Ionis already. Alright, so I thought about getting a hot pot for all of us. Miko suggested kimchi broth, and I want sukiyaki one. Sukiyaki? It's a dish, not a broth. At least in Japan. Here it is, according to the menu. It sounds nice from the description. Any objections or other preferences?
All sounds good.
Great. So, we can take one seafood set and two vegetable sets, each for 2 persons in theory. And a mushroom set if you want. And that should be enough. What do you think?
Sounds good.
And a jug of lemonade? It'll be cheaper than separate drinks. Oh, good idea. I'll catch the waiter then. Hello, here. Oh, this is so good for the kimchi broth. Right, it works so well together.
It is a spectacle and it is an experience. I didn't know food could be this fun, though it's clear that Lake is enjoying this the most out of all of us.
I take another mushroom and dip it into the bubbling broth, holding between the steel chopsticks. What a great idea to make chopsticks out of steel. Not only are they reusable, they also seem more elegant and easier to use and keep clean. It takes only half a minute for it to cook in the hot liquid thanks to its shape, long and thin. A very aesthetically pleasing process. This is the most social way of eating I've ever seen, that's for sure. Oh, I'm having so much fun with this. I think that later I have to go back to single plate dishes that don't share with anyone because we all get the same. This clearly feels like the superior way. Lake, can you pass me the hoisin sauce? Sure, here you are. Hey, leave some mushrooms for me too. Sorry. I had no idea studying can make me this hungry. But also everything is so good.
Maybe other than lotus root.
And mushrooms. Everything other than mushrooms and tofu. I'll disagree. Out of everything here, I think I only dislike carrots. It's still so snappy, even after cooking.
That's the best part. All the crunch and the texture.
Lotus roots are kind of crunchy too, and you said you dislike them.
Well, they're also fibrous in a very suspicious way, and if you cook them for longer, they become mushy.
Nothing worse than mushy vegetables. I didn't know you all had this many opinions about food. I don't mind cooked vegetables, though roasted win for me.
Well, everything roasted is the nicest. I have to make you some roasted potatoes with beets sometimes. They're really good.
Meats and potatoes. Sounds interesting. I don't think I've ever had them together.
They complement each other pretty well. Some carrots, onions, seitan or sausages with that. Lots of ground pepper, some rosemary, laurel leaves and allspice, and it all comes out delicious.
That's a spice combination I wasn't expecting.
Well, it's a recipe I got from my father, so I assume it's something Polish. Or at least it's tasty enough for everyone to polish off their plates. Makes for a great dinner in any case.
Definitely want to try. Want to back at Anslo?
Absolutely.
There's a note of uncertainty in his voice, though, and the pause he takes after the enthusiastic declaration is filled with it to the brim. Neither of us know what happens once we're back, if Bjorn will continue his studies or not, or if he stays at the dorm. I'd not think about it now and be happy with the time we have. Bjorn, I think you're overdoing your tofu.
Oh, alright. I forgot about it completely.
He fishes out the 2 pieces of tofu from the sukiyaki broth, both falling apart in half under the pressure of chopsticks.
Darn it.
I'm so full. Hell, this was definitely too much food. We still have a lot on the table. The steam rises from the pot slowly, the 2 kinds of broth separated by a thin piece of metal simmering on the stovetop built into the table. Bjorn. Something flutters in my chest gently when I repeat his name. Once again I wonder who he is for me. I think I look up to him. Whatever the field we talk about, he knows so much. Wonder what his writing is like. Wish I could have understood more of the notes from his notebook. My Norwegian is nowhere as good for that yet, though. All I could have read were a few passages and sections in English. Maybe I should have expected it, but it's surprising to see how idiosyncratic his writing looked, switching between 3 languages. Interesting he writes in English too. I'm curious what his process looks like. A few notes in English he wrote though. They touched me in a way I can't remember any prose touching me before. From them poured a light in which I felt seen. The style was terse, maybe even crude in places, but in the flow of phrases, between the lines, behind the frames, something lurked. And the photos he took, none of them I would have taken myself. No easy picturesque views, no cutesy storefronts, no photos of the sky. There was a lot of trial and error, obviously. There was something stark in some of them too. He wasn't thinking in terms of composition, but rather of light and shapes. I never tried the same. What made him reserved and unsure? Maybe the harsh reality of immigrant life? Never asked him about it much, what his experiences with it is like. Bet it's much different than mine. Someone from a Nordic country as well, much better off financially. Whatever I do, my future is pretty much secure. We grew so close so quickly, even despite the age difference between us. I vibe with him more than with anyone I was friends with in high school. I don't know what's ahead of us, but I know I don't want to have to let him go. With him, I don't feel alone. I lean into him to feel the comforting heat of his body, and he leans back on me in a reassuring gesture.
Done already?
Another slice of temper and I'll explode.
Better don't. That'd be a lot of cleaning up for the personnel.
Yeah, I'm starting to think we ordered too much.
Sukiyaki broth is so good. I could have this every day. I think I'll get some more tofu if no one else is eating it.
Go ahead. I think I'm done too. I'd rather not overeat for the concert. I'd prefer to focus on music than get a food coma. By the way, what concert? I don't think I've heard you mention any before. Penderecki at the Philharmonic. I told you about it yesterday. Oh, I didn't know you were going, Miko. I was kind of organising the group.
The Philharmonic?
Wait, I didn't ask you? I'm sure I sent you an Arvo message.
I might have missed it. I cleared all notifications yesterday.
I should learn to check my messages finally. Maybe there's still some seats free. Probably not what we said, but it'd be fantastic if you could join us regardless.
I've always wanted to hear an orchestra live. I imagine the sound of a live orchestra has to be massive.
Oh, never? Really? We went to the Philharmonic a few times with my high school.
No, though we've been in a musical theatre, I don't think that counts. Orchestra is only the backbone and background there, not the main attraction. How much are the tickets?
500 krona, if I remember correctly.
Oh. I don't think I'll go then. Maybe next time or something.
If you can't afford it, I'll pay for you. I saw how excited you were about it. And you say you never were in a Philharmonic. You have to go.
Oh, no, don't. I don't need it, really. I'll be happy to go to the bookstore instead.
I'm absolutely taking you with us. You don't have to drag you two there. You can pay me back later if you insist.
Well, thank you.
So that's it then. I'll check what seats are still available. Should I get you a ticket as well, Arvo? Yes, please. And tell me how much I owe you. I'll send the money right away. Oh, by the way, where's Torolf? I thought you'd invite him as well. We kind of stopped talking yesterday. Oh, private matters? Yeah, I'd rather not talk about it. Besides, I'd rather enjoy being here, with you here and now. How about we take a photo of us together?
If we fit all of us inside the frame.
It's worth a try. Let's try to cram together. And Arvo, try to capture the table too. Sure, give me a moment. I have a camera in my bag. I love this moment. I love holding my camera. I love changing the lens. I love thinking of the framing. I truly do. It's the moment of purposeful creation. A moment when I feel like I have something to offer of myself, even if it's just a group selfie. It'd be naive to think that by taking a photo I can turn this ephemeral moment into something lasting. That's not what happens. That's what happens inside us. This moment will live in our heads and hearts, not in a JPEG file. But photography is art, and I can create something new, something the rest of the people at this table could take with themselves and enjoy. I turn on the camera and lean on Bjorn, the rest gathering around us, smiling at the camera I hold in my outstretched paw. I smile and the shutter clicks. Oh man, I can barely walk. I look up at the bright sky, enjoying the afterglow of a good meal with friends. I don't have many thoughts, just these feelings, warm and bubbling.
It was so well worth it, though. I don't think I've ever had food this good. I never really went to restaurants, though. It was a first for me. I don't have much to compare it to.
Never went with your parents?
Mostly into home cooking. But we've been to a local pizza place quite often. It was more of a fast food place, though. Even if the food was good, I always enjoyed being there.
These kinds of places are nice. I don't tell Lake, but it felt so posh in there. I can't remember the last time I had a waiter bring me food. Felt quite fancy, definitely. I think I liked it, though. I rarely get to experience something like this. Not often I can afford it. I think the last time was when I moved to Anslow and felt like celebrating. Oh, Jürgen. Should I send Lake money for lunch? I feel like I should. I don't know what his financial situation is. Oh, he wanted to pay for the meal, and it's obviously that brought him joy. It's a good feeling doing something for your friends. But between us, he definitely doesn't have the money. I'll treat him something in return once we come back so that we're even. If you don't think you'll have the time to go out with him somewhere later, better send him some money now. It doesn't have to be the whole amount even. Yeah, he could certainly use it. I nod. Fair. I think I'd better send him the money now. Once we're back at the guest house, though, I don't want to freeze my paws in this cold. By the way, what are we doing now? There's still like an hour to the concert. Yeah, we could have their coffee, maybe. I like to caffeinate myself before concerts. It makes me enjoy the music more, somehow. There should be a cafe inside the Philharmonic, but it might be a bit expensive. They cater to upper-class types, usually. Which is annoying. I wish Philharmonics made more efforts to make the music more approachable and egalitarian, instead of creating this posh, high-class image of it.
Oh, I know. How about we visit that bookstore where Snowcart was yesterday? They serve coffee and tea too. It was a lovely spot.
Sounds good to me. Miko? If they won't throw us out for talking, sure.
Well, not that kind of place. It's not a library, you know. It felt more like a local hub.
I want to check out other places here too. We'll meet at the Philharmonic. I'll be there about 10 minutes before the concert. Sure, have fun.
Ah, too bad. I had hoped him to ask him about books. Maybe he could recommend something to me. Anyway, let's go. It's here to the left, 3 streets away. A cappuccino was for you, Miko, right? And black for you, Arvo?
Yeah, thank you.
Here you are.
A cup full to the brim, with a rather crude fox snout on top drawn in milky strokes, that they're holding pitch-black liquid, join our 3 cakes on the table. What about you? You didn't get anything?
Oh, waiting for my filter coffee. I think they're using V61 drips. They make great coffee, but they take a while to brew.
V61? I don't think I know what you're referring to. A cafe near my door makes filter coffee. They have these conical cups they put on top of mugs.
Well, it's a V61 exactly. Unless it's made by some other company, but the principles are the same. Oh, I think it's ready.
I look at the wolf sitting opposite me. He's playing with his cup, paw pad tracing along the edge. I think he notices me staring, so he lifts his head and smiles at me. But maybe he's just gathering courage to say something to me. Arvo, a nice shirt. You look good in it. Oh, thank you. You aren't changing yet. No, I'll change later in the Philharmonic. I don't want to risk staining the clothes. I wanted to say, you and Bjorn look cute together. My cheeks get hot under my fur with embarrassment. I thought I was absolutely discreet with my affection towards him. You know, I dreaded seeing you again after all these years. I didn't tell you that, but I was afraid I'd meet exactly the same person I knew. His voice goes up a few tones. I only finished talking before Bjorn comes back. I was afraid that we'd just resume our friendship, and that could have been too much for me. And I wanted it at the same time. But you changed, and I'm slowly coming to understand that I've changed too. I'm glad I can get to know you and befriend you now, and Bjorn and Lake and all the rest. These have been a fantastic 4 days, you know. I haven't had this much fun in ages. Hope they've been as good for you too. Yes, mostly. Intense, that's for sure. But fun too. I'm glad to have you as my friend, you know? I'm glad to have you as my friend too. Can I call this a new chapter? I'd be thankful. I know I wasn't always the best friend.
What chapter? Talking about books without me?
Bjorn comes back holding a tiny copper tray. On it a coffee server and a small cup. Looks super aesthetic. Now I'm jealous I only got a regular black coffee. Oh, that looks good.
It smells so nice. I didn't order coffee yesterday, but now I see they know what they're doing.
I take my cup too, lifting it to my nose. It smells like coffee. Tastes like coffee too. I guess I'm less passionate about it than Bjorn, or maybe his coffee is that much better. Can I try some?
Sure, go ahead.
I grab his cup and take a tasting sip, cautious not to burn my tongue. What the hell? This is so sour.
Alright, that's fantastic. So fruity and fresh. Must be some super light roasted natural beans.
Natural? Aren't all beans natural?
Well, that means unwashed before drying, so they're dry and inside the fruit. That gives coffee some funkier fermented fruity notes, like in this one.
I think I prefer my coffee washed. Or darker roasted, I don't know. But I'll stick to ordering regular black, thank you. I at least know it's not worth trying the filter coffee from our local cafe. I've been eyeing it for some time, but it's significantly more expensive.
More for me. It might still grow on you. If you're used to dark roasts, a sour coffee instead of a bitter one might sound off. This is so nice once you get used to it. And light roasts are super popular in Norway. You'll find them in many places. Anyway, do you want to check out the books too? They have quite a selection. A Norwegian writer's got a Nobel Prize. They have a whole shelf dedicated to them.
Oh, definitely. I feel inspired after listening to you and Gudrun. I'm thinking I could pick up some essays.
Quite a selection here. You'll be spoiled for choice.
I'll go browse after I finish the coffee. I don't want it to go cold.
Too bad Snotgard isn't here again today. I'd think about getting another book to have it signed.
Maybe I should get something by him. I've never read his stuff. I think he's more popular here than outside of Norway.
Well, I can lend you something, no problem. If you'd rather buy one, I suggest The Evening Star. A fantastic book. I think the nicest I've read this year. It's a fantastic style and flow. Reading his writing is a pleasure.
I wish I had a tenth of his talent. I've read several of his books and I still have no idea how he does it. Sounds nice. I can get my own copy if they have one here.
So, Philharmonic, what should I expect? If I'm honest, I think I'm a bit scared.
Scared? Of what?
Of not fitting in.
Do you really care about the opinion of a few old people in tuxedos?
Well, they're going to stare at me disapprovingly, yes. Oh, tuxedos. I can't go to the Philharmonic dressed like this, no way. How much time do we have?
About half an hour now, plus a few minutes. What are you thinking of?
I'll have to find a shirt somewhere.
Won't that be expensive? A white shirt at a store is like 500 kroner as much as a ticket. I think you'd be fine wearing what you have on you. I don't have anything to change into either.
Arvo, you're wearing a shirt.
Right. What luck. I took a shirt with me from home. I thought the last day of lectures would be a good time to wear it.
Well, a shirt might be 500 kroner in a store like Zadar, maybe. I was thinking of going to a thrift store.
Ah, makes sense. We don't have much time, though. I better finish your coffee fast.
It looks promising. I should be able to find something in here. I hope they have big sizes too.
What are we looking for? Just a white shirt?
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. I hope that's enough.
It definitely will be. You know, some people come to the Philharmonic in just a plain t-shirt and jeans, and that's fine too. You're there for the music, not to look good. You'll be fine wherever you wear. Or if a show would make you feel more confident, it's a good idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to stick out.
Let's go find something then. We split up and go into two different aisles looking for shirts. A corridor of cloth surrounds me. All the different fabrics and textures in every colour formed into a psychedelic rainbow. My head starts to spin as I walk forward, struggling to process all the shapes and patterns. It's a much different experience than the clothes stores I know. It's also much fancier than I thought. Scanning the items I walk past, and as many brands I know, along with vintage items that easily look more interesting. It's a nice place. I didn't know what to expect entering the store, but it's a pleasant surprise. I'd be happy to stay for longer and maybe find some cool stuff myself as well, but I don't think we have time for it. Hey, I think I found the shirt section. There's a bunch between jackets and trousers, several different colours available, mostly dark blue and red, colours that fit light coloured fur well.
Oh, great. Quite a big selection. I'll check the prices. Not too bad. 50 kroner on average. I think I'll look for trousers too. I could use new ones anyway.
He digs out a few shirts and examines them, putting them back one by one.
This one might fit. Does it look good?
I think so. I don't see any wear on it.
Oh, great. I'll try this one too, just in case. I need to find some trousers.
Do you need any help there?
No, I'm fine. This one is a bit too small. Try it on the second one. Oh, this one fits nicely. And it's a cheaper one. The trousers are good too. What do you think?
Hey, you look good. I couldn't imagine him in elegant clothes. Thought it would clash with his vibe, but it fits him surprisingly well. He looks much more serious in them though, like he's a different person entirely.
Oh great, just 35 kroner for both. Oh, we don't have to take them off to pay for them. We should definitely be going already. Did you find anything for yourself?
Oh no, I wasn't really looking. I don't really need any new clothes at the moment. Now I feel a bit stupid not buying my clothes at thrift stores though. If the selection's this nice, then why was I always paying 5 times the price for an item made for me if I could reuse something already made? I like the concept though. I have to go check out our local thrift stores once we're back.
We could go together sometime. Choosing clothes is always more fun with someone else.
We hurry with our heads held high, sunset slowly painting the sky in sharp hues. It's not the time to wonder at the beauty of nature though. We should get to the Philharmonic as soon as we can. Yeah, we should continue forward, and after 2 streets we turn right. I don't think we'll miss it. I mean, it has to be a huge building.
So, Miko didn't answer me in the end. What should I expect from the concert? Anything I should know beforehand?
I don't think there's anything. People go there to listen to music. It's not some super posh place like a fine dining restaurant or something like that. Oh, there's one thing to remember. Don't clap between parts or movements of one work. Better wait until others start clapping before you do.
Huh? Why?
I never really grasped that myself, but supposedly that's not to interrupt one whole work, let people immerse themselves in it. Conductors often make longer pauses between movements. I'm not really buying that myself, but that's how it is. Do you like classical music actually? Not many people do. I don't know if I'd like it myself. I thought I could go, even just to see the concert hall. I checked, it's a fairly new building. I bet it's stunning.
Oh, I do, or at least I like a few pieces. I never got into it properly. I barely know the composers, but there are a few works I really like. Like one symphony by Max Bruch, for example. I found it on YouTube by accident, I think. It was just so impressive, especially the first movement. It's like a dialogue between the violin and the choir consists of the rest of the orchestra. A solitary voice and a wall of sound that replies to it. Feels like a bit like an ancient Greek tragedy. It's not something I would just sit and listen to at home, maybe, but it helps set the mood when I need some inspiration.
Huh. You can send me a link, it sounds interesting.
Well, super nice. You have no idea how glad I am that I'm going with you.
Bjorn pulls me close, hugging us to his side mid-walk. It makes me feel warm and giddy. Yeah, I'm glad too. Let's hurry now though. Miko and Jürgen are for sure waiting for us already. The lobby is stunning indeed. The walls are clad in solid slabs of marble and stone, decorated sparsely with golden lamps. Keeping the rhythm of the postmodern exterior, the inside expresses itself mostly with flowing shapes and blocks, like the winding staircases run upwards symmetrically on both sides of the hall. In front of us, amidst a small crowd slowly walking down the flight of stairs in the middle, leading the open space in the middle, stand Miko and our bat friend. Jürgen is dressed in all black. A long-sleeved crop top with a fine mesh covering the rest of his torso, looking absolutely stunning in it. Oh, here you are. The concert starts in 10 minutes. I know, we're sorry. We're all ready now.
I ran to a store to get a shirt. It's my fault.
Nothing to apologise for. 10:04 is soon enough, but we should get going. I'll leave your backpacks in the cloakroom. It's just downstairs. All right, going. We hurry downstairs, taking off our outerwear and backpacks while handing them over to the exceptionally polite young fox on the other side of the cloakroom counter. So, first time in the Philharmonic?
How did you know?
Miko told me.
Makes sense. I'm super excited. I don't really know what to expect though. Symphonic music listened to at home always sounds somewhat tame. I'm hoping an orchestra playing live is something earth-shattering. Or in this case, cosmos creating. Cosmogonia. The name of the piece makes me think it'll be something of an epic scale.
Oh, you don't know it?
No, I've never heard about it before.
Oh, good luck then. Where now? Seats in the middle of the room, entrance A3. I'll send you yours. I think I have a different entrance than this. I had to buy seats further back. Arvo, can I send you the tickets? Sure, and you can go ahead. We'll figure out how to get there. I just sent. See you afterwards and have fun.
Hey, you too.
Miko and Jürgen walk away towards the entrance, joining the queue of people, patchwork-like mass of jackets and sweaters in subdued colours. The ticket says entrance B2. I think that's upstairs.
Well, it looks like it, yeah.
It's cosy here. As much as a 700-person hall can be cosy. It feels like a friendly, welcoming space. That's quite a feat for a concert hall. Our seats are indeed in the back of the room, though still with a good view, and the acoustics of a concert hall, we should have a fantastic sound here. Miko and Jürgen are sitting at the front, several rows ahead of us. Miko notices me and waves.
Oh, there they are.
We sit down next to each other. The seats are spacious and comfortable, though we share one armrest and our forearms bump together. Bjorn doesn't even mind though, and I certainly don't either. It's pretty in here.
This place seems terrific. Love how inclined the audience is. The stage is completely obscured from here.
The orchestra is on stage already, tuning their instruments. The buzzing of many strings drown out any conversations. It's a pleasure to listen to. The notes travel around, searching for their correct pitch, like bees joining to a swarm, chaos organising itself into harmony. It's music in itself, isn't it? Even if many would dismiss it as pure noise, there's still textures and tension, notes and intervals, harmony and melody emerging from them like an interference pattern. The hands on everyone's clocks are nearing the full hour. There's some tension in the air, an excited tone in the people's voices, something that tells me it's a special occasion. The way everyone's dressed says so too. Black dominates the colour palette, with occasional crimson and white. Looks like everyone's wearing their best clothes this evening. Next to me, Bjorn fidgets nervously. He's slouched in his seat with paws gripping the two armrests, like a second pilot in an accelerating airplane. What's up? Feeling nervous?
Well, I feel like I kind of don't belong here. Out of place. I mean, look at all the people here. I think we're easily the youngest here and by a large margin.
Huh. Well, you point that out, you might be right. But we're not here for them. We're here for ourselves and for the music. Don't think about them. I'm absolutely sure they aren't thinking about us. I hesitate for a moment, but finally reach out for his paw and put mine on it in a reassuring gesture. We've slept together in one bed, cuddled into each other. I doubt he'd mind. He smiles and relaxes, his fingers entwining with mine. His soft hazel eyes are smiling too, and a feeling arises within my chest, something fleeting but leaving permanent trace on my heart and trachea. I feel it travelling upwards and pulling me out of my seat. Suddenly the buzzing sound dies down. A second later everyone in the audience too. In an instant the anticipation turns so thick that I could cut it with a knife and spread it on toast. The orchestra stands up. The double door on the side opens. Out of it comes the conductor, a caribou wearing all black tux, making his way to the centre of the stage, onto a platform in the middle of the roar of enthusiastic clapping. A dignified, courteous bow, he turns around to face the ensemble. His paw in the air, the stick held between his fingers like a wand, he holds it still for 10 long seconds, for a flick of the wrist sends the machine of the orchestra into motion. Bite into an apple, I can smell the damp soil it grew from. And contained within it 13 billions of years of this atomic dance of elements. The slow fulmination of life exploding into this multi-limbed chimera. An agonizing rise and scream of its manifold maws, all asking, why? Did I die? I never knew it would happen this soon. But what is this? Drifting among the stars, hanging here in limbo, waiting for judgment from eternity. Or maybe the eternity itself is a judgment. I'd never guess it, but I think I find solace in the life I've had. I might not have been a happy person. When I look back, there's a sea of warmth I forget about. Was it all worth it? If life is about growing and learning, have I learned anything? I've learned to trust others. I've learned to never stop looking. I've learned the value of sacrifice, and then I've learned I don't have to sacrifice myself for everyone else. There's so much I still have to learn. I haven't found my place or my calling yet. I haven't learned not to resign myself to my circumstances. I never fought for a better future for myself, I only thought what others wanted from me and how can I make them happy. How did I get here? Which crossroads took me here? What decisions? I strayed too far from my paws to ever again meet the soft kiss of a trodden path. I'm alone on this journey. But aren't we all? Is this still the concert hall? It's all deserted. It's so odd here. This warm glow makes everything look like the sand on a sun-kissed beach. I miss the sun. I don't feel good here. What is this space? It's too big, too bright, too artificial. I feel so exposed. There's no one else here and I still feel eyes on me, judging and disapproving. How does the summer feel? I try to remember, but I can't. I want to lie in the sand and let the sun carry my body upwards. I'm on a shore, sand cold under my back. My print stays there like a shadow that's separated from my body. And when I look down, I notice I don't cast a shadow anymore. Where my striped paws meet the ground, there's only sand, wet and heavy. Is anyone else here? I call out into space above me, empty and endless. The universe replies to me with inexhaustible indifference. Papers fly from over the dunes and over my head, lined pages as if torn from a journal. I jump and try to grab one, but I can't reach any. Finally, my fingertips grasp the edge of one, and it falls to the ground like a shot bird.
I'm weightless.
I'm ascending.
I understand that I have to let go. Life is getting attached and letting go. I see now. It was stupid of me to hold on to what I have, because in the end I have nothing at all. I'm venturing beyond the edge. Sunday evenings always make me melancholic. I'm sitting on the balcony thinking about all that's wrong with my life at the moment. And there is so much. I don't even know where to begin. Is what I have salvageable at this point? I used to remember happiness. I used to remember the sun. Now it has covered itself with clouds if it was November already, while it's just spring. The page bursts into flames in my paw, embers tied in the faded paper. By the time it reaches the ground from my open paw, it's only dust, and it scatters into nothing. A bell tolls somewhere beyond the mist. The sand under my paws vibrate with each ring. Something is about to happen. Beams rise up from the ground, join above my head into a cathedral of pure white. I look up, the ground shifting under my paws, and between the pillars, a ray of light blares down on me with all of its anger. I'm lifted up. I'm above the ground. In the light, I see. Will exhaust the earth and drain the sun. Were the universe eating itself? A fragmented being mirrored infinitely, struggling to confront its infinite solitude, in a futile attempt to explain its own impossible existence.
My own face looking at me. Where are we? A paw on my shoulder.
This is the Pliocene coast. This ceiling above us is the spine of a beast that lived 5 million years ago. It's the explosion of life as it burns away. It's our past and it's our future.
The taste of the apple, the gentle rolling of a train.
Can you see your reflection in these ribs, polished by sand and water?
I do. You're in them too.
I've read somewhere there's an infinite amount of alternate worlds. Every time we make a choice, the world splits into many, and all the other possible versions of us exist somewhere there. I'm sure I misunderstood the whole thing, but it's a vision that stayed with me. I imagine when the timeline changes drastically, when there's some big shift in the world, there should be some visible signs of it too, like a lull in the waves or flickering lights. I feel like I'm on a different path now than before the camp. Something has changed irrevocably. I don't know what has set things in motion. Was it you or me, or a different force altogether? Or maybe it doesn't matter. What matters is that the machinery of the universe is moving. You know, I spent a long time here alone. I gave up on thinking I'd find anyone here. You won't believe how happy I am to see you.
I think I would. I think I feel the same.
In garden, flowers bloomed at night. Petals filled my heart with sorrow. With shears I stood, bathed in the light. Refracted spectrum of a colour. Upside down, it was the sky. I looked upon it with my 3 eyes. An ocean black, petal in white. The birth of a new nebula.
My head is blank. Inside my heart is a maelstrom. The stillness outside is much welcome, though. I close my eyes and feel the oceanic breeze. It blows right through my empty bones. The music tore some veil that separated me from the world, a cocoon that kept me safe. I feel so vulnerable.
You know, I don't feel like coming back.
Me neither. It's nice out here, dim and calm. The gentle murmur of the ocean feels like a paw stroking my ragged thoughts. The spikes soften the gentle hills and valleys, gradually but surely. What now? Our bus is leaving soon.
Well, I can message Coach and tell him we're staying here a bit longer. It's quite a hike, though. How do you feel about walking back?
Very positively. I'd love a long walk.
Me too. I'll write to him then.
He writes quickly with two paws, thumbs moving the great dexterity of the large screen of his phone.
Done. We have the evening for ourselves.
The thought is like a gentle hug, calming the storm in my chest. The alarm blaring between my ears quiets. Now I notice I'm feeling more alive than ever. Do you want to stay here, the docks? I like how this place feels. Vespertine and saturated. The border where civilization and brutal nature collide, fighting for domination.
Sure, if you're not feeling cold.
I'll likely start in a moment. But for now I don't mind the cold as well. It's refreshing.
I want to sit here. I like this spot.
He points to the bench facing the water, a gap between the boats right before it. Good idea. Even in the dark, the colours on the sky and the ships and the buildings that surround us are so vivid, like freshly squeezed fruits. In the warm light of the street lamps, the dock looks like the surface of another planet. The masts turn into antennas pointing into the cosmos. You're not cold in this?
I don't mind a little bit of cold. It's good to feel the wind on myself. Oh, Where is my hoodie? Where's my backpack?
I reach out to touch mine and my paw meets thin air only. Huh? Fuck!
What's up?
My camera. We left our backpacks at the Philharmonic.
Oh, you're right.
I hope it's still open. I'd rather the camera with me today. I have to stop being so forgetful sometime. We get up and hurry back, retracing our steps from the harbour.
Hey, what's with the dreary look? It could happen to anyone. After a concert like that, I'd forget about my own sister if I took her with me.
You have siblings? I didn't know.
Well, I don't. I mean, I would forget her if I had one.
The cloakroom is still open, thankfully. I lean down and rest my paws on my knees, panting.
Oh, thank heavens. I was already saying goodbye to my laptop.
We give our 2 number tags to the young fox at the counter, the same who took our bags earlier, and he returns with our bags. I feel through the thick material of mine to the camera, just to reassure myself I still have it. Yeah, wasn't looking forward to having to walk all the way here tomorrow. Mind if we remembered about the bags an hour later?
Oh, we could always sleep here, on a bench before the Philharmonic.
Yes, and freeze to death.
Well, not if we cuddle. Oh, there's one more thing I forgot.
My blood goes cold as I anticipate another frantic run for another forgotten item.
I still have to write a message to my parents.
Ah, are you afraid of their reaction?
No, I'm afraid of letting them down. But I have to tell them about the exam anyway. Maybe they'll have some ideas of what I can do now. Because I don't really know what to do. And I have to start thinking about it very soon. You know, repeating a year isn't cheap. I think I need to find a job, but then, when do I find the time to study full time?
We'll find some solutions, I'm sure of that. I still think you shouldn't continue these studies if they're not a good fit for you. If anything, I think it's a good turn of events. You can drop out without feeling bad about it.
Oh, I'd feel bad about it, believe me. Maybe. It's a scary thought.
Don't think about it now then. Tell your parents after the camp, and for now just enjoy yourself.
No, I feel I should do it now. I owe him this much.
He walks away, tapping at his phone. His gait is stiff and nervous. His paws stop every few steps. He looks up to the ceiling, grinding words in his head. Finally puts his phone back in his pocket and walks back to me slowly. There's a smile on his face, but it doesn't reach his gloomy eyes.
Done. Shall we go?
Yeah, back to the harbour?
How about going further, where the town ends? I'd like to go someplace darker. I've had enough of artificial light.
Ooh, even better. It's so quiet here. Quieter than anywhere in Anslo. It really is. The town itself is peaceful too, though.
Almost no cars there. There's a 30-kilometre-an-hour speed limit in the whole town.
I wasn't really looking at the signs. Don't even have a license. But now I think of it, the traffic was really quiet.
Well, it's something I always notice when I come back for holidays. The city where my parents live is so loud.
The moon reflects in the sea, a fine cobweb of light cast upon the water, shimmering in the dark. The breeze carries the smell of the ocean, seaweed and fish. 2 lone seagulls take off in the water and cut across the sky, their cries piercing the vespertine quietness. Sitting on a rock, we just take in the view. The ocean before us, the mountains, the few trees and deep shadows they cast in the moonlight. It all feels so much more important than the lectures we came here for. You sound like you don't really like coming back.
No, I don't. Well, it's good to see my family once in a while, and it's not terribly expensive, thankfully. I'd like to travel somewhere else sometime, see a bit of the world. Like to Guest, the city where James Joyce lived and wrote. I'd like to sit in the cafe by the river and feel like him.
Sounds very good. Italy has some great food.
Well, I thought that between the two of us, I'm the bigger foodie.
Perhaps, but the polenta.
And gnocchi.
The Mediterranean delicacies in the blazing sun is well deserved in the synchronous sigh we exhale. But we're here now, on one of the many islands in the fjords, in the country we both chose to live in. I think it's something worth celebrating as well. A ball of paper flies past the camera I hold in my outstretched paw. I look over at Bjorn and see him making another, crumpling another page. Huh? What are you doing?
Something important.
I don't think I should press, but it's puzzling at least. One by one he crumples another piece of paper, then sends it flying over the waves to sink to the ocean floor. Did you have any place in mind for after this?
Cold already?
Yeah, tragically.
You can take my hoodie. I don't mind the cold yet.
I thought about going someplace warm, actually.
How about the tea house again? I liked it a lot yesterday.
Oh, that's a good idea. A warm tea sounds divine. I lean on him, not really wanting this moment to end, despite the cold. Between us hangs a fine thread of connection. I'm afraid I'll snap in half as much as get up. Under the shining moon, the bear puts his arm around me and pulls me close. The cold doesn't feel so bothersome anymore. Where else did you want to travel?
Well, most realistically, Sweden. It's just a train ride away. Stockholm will be a much shorter ride than one we've had here, even. Well, next time we're travelling some of the uni, I must just Göteborg instead. That's even closer.
Oh, that ride was so long. When I signed up, I didn't check just how far away this place was.
Well, travelling by bus is the worst. It's all the downsides of a car with all the downsides of public transportation. You can't stop wherever you want to stretch your legs or admire the views. The seats are tiny with no leg room. You can't really walk like you would in the train, and don't get me started on the toilets.
For me, they're mostly nostalgic. They make me think of school trips, pretty much only.
I was reading enough of them for a lifetime when I moved to Anslo. I had to commute to the high school from a different town. It was back when my mum was working as a nurse. My father worked construction, so I had the time to drive me there. I love trains the most, but I'd love it if they could be a bit cheaper.
Göteborg is just 3.5 hours away. The train costs 500 krona.
Yeah, a lot. That's one thing I like about coming back to Poland. The train tickets are suddenly 5 times cheaper. From where my parents live, we can take a ticket to the seaside for like 150 krona. The service is reliable. I can't think of a more relaxing thing than taking the train to hell.
Hell?
Well, it's a peninsula, very narrow, with a few tiny towns and beaches on both sides. Popular vacation destination. Polish people have enough of a sense of humour to give the bus that rides through it number 666. How about you? Any dream destinations?
Oh, a lot. I'm curious about the world outside of Europe mostly. I'd love to see places like Argentina or Brazil. Not very exotic, very much in the different culturally. Obviously the climate and nature is different as well. I'm really curious about these differences.
Do you think they'd be that very different? I'm kind of assuming in current times everything in the Western world is globalized. I hope you're right. Oh, I think our tea is coming.
Here you are. A rock and green and red rooibos and a hookah, watermelon flavour. Do you know how to use it?
Oh yes, thank you.
Oh, that smells nice.
The smoke.
The tea. I'm not sure which of these, though.
Oh, which one do you want first?
Thought I'm getting rooibos and you had the green tea.
Oh, I thought we'd taken them to share. The green tea goes super well with the hookah.
We can. I'd love to try the green tea too, but I'm not sure if I want to smoke. I think I'd start with the rooibos.
Oh, good choice, I think. I bet the green tea will be super sweet.
He pours the tea into our two identical cups, tiny and with no ears, covered in thick glaze poured in waves, the top blue like midnight sky, bottom red like rust. Looked like tiny coral reefs, frozen in time. It was definitely the rooibos I smelled before, because now the same sweet, slightly roasted aroma permeates the room. I lift the cup to my snout, blowing at the steaming surface while taking a tiny sip. Oh, this is nice. Don't think I've ever had it before.
Well, it's nice for a non-caffeine option. I don't mind the caffeine though, rather the opposite.
It can make me anxious sometimes. The concert made me feel something. I'd like to stay in this headspace for a bit longer.
Well, green tea has less caffeine than black and much less than coffee, if I remember correctly. Well, I think you should be safe drinking some.
He takes a sip of the rooibos as well, and a radiant smile lights up his snout.
You know, when I think of it, I'm fairly happy where I am. I don't really need to travel to be happy. Though everyone needs some change once in a while. If you stay too long in one place, you become stagnant, calcified. Sometimes even the world moves forward and leaves you behind.
Thinking of my parents who call me when they need to do something with a printer.
Oh, I don't blame them. Printers are machines of the devil. I couldn't fix one myself if I decided to stop working. Well, that's our university for printing points. Imagine having to buy your own printer.
You know, I haven't been living in the dorm for too long yet, but I like this communal way of living. I think I'd miss it if I was to move out to my own place. Also upsides of having your own place, sure, but living this way feels more wholesome, if you understand what I mean. More efficient and less wasteful too.
Well, I think I do. There's a nice spirit of community in the dorm. A lot of meeting spots, a lot of people you meet every day in the kitchen, in the corridors, the sports rooms, in the cafeteria. Sometimes too many. For someone who values occasional solitude, it can be a lot. Well, I see your point, yeah. One big kitchen with the whole floor of people is better than the use of space in a separate kitchen in every apartment. The appliances can be of higher quality because more people are paying for it. Same goes for tools in the garage. And who has a pool table in their house?
It'd be nice to have something like community-owned apartments with shared spaces outside of the universities. You know, one thing I remember from visiting my parents' friends with them is the solitude they all seem to live in. Maybe it's their choice. Maybe they liked it, but I don't think I'd like to live like that. I'm a terrible Finn, but I want to be a lonely ruler in my own kingdom. I suppose living here with people is changing me. Maybe I'm bound to change too. I don't know. I'd like to imagine I won't.
Oh, I'm afraid everyone does. But some grow and change for better. Some turn bitter and disillusioned, fill themselves with resentment. It might sound naive, but I think it's very important to believe in something. What's the point of anything if we don't believe in a better future? If you don't have any hope, then why keep on living?
Do you believe in something?
No, I'm not sure. I'd like to think so. Maybe I'm afraid of admitting that hope, even to myself.
He grabbed the hookah finally and took a puff. Smoke unfurls in thick streaks, escaping through his nose and then his snout too as he lets go of the mouthpiece, leaving with his heavy sigh. Talking with him always feels natural and comfortable. It's rare that I feel the age difference between us. But in moments like this it becomes apparent to me. I think I understand him. But do I really? What can he be thinking about when he turns so silent? Am I in a position to ask? Or do I want to know even? There's a lot of Bjorn I cannot grasp. feel like he's shown me only fragments of himself, gauging my reactions, guessing how far he can bury himself before me. I wouldn't mind if he opened up a bit more, really. But I know when not to push. Besides, I like to steer the conversation to lighter territory for the move between us tanks completely. What did you think about the concert? He smiles, recognizing the lifeline hidden in the stray question. Maybe I'm just seeing things?
I'm not sure, honestly. I might need some time alone before I know. I know what I felt, though. Emotionally, it was possibly the single most intense experience I can remember. I feel like now I have to piece myself back together after this. I'm not joking. Am I going mad? I hope I'm not. I don't know if we even hear the same things. 5 minutes in, I fell into a kind of shallow sleep full of hallucinations. What I remember for sure was this one point when the music exploded, the white blinding light. I looked into it and saw it was a full spectrum of every colour, joined into one beam that began to fall apart. I think I know which part you mean. That one big chord that emerged from the chaos. The only part of the piece that felt like something harmonious. I hope I didn't hallucinate it. Though if I did, that'd be some impressive work for my brain. Maybe I should be proud. It was something, that's for sure. I wanted to hear how powerful a full orchestra would sound live, and that was more powerful than anything I'd imagined. Did you like it?
I think I did. It wasn't what I expected. You know, when our school was taking us to the Philharmonic, we always went to hear some Vivaldi or at best Strauss. So something just completely incomparable. It's like listening to free jazz that we ever hear in pop music or commercial radio. I guess it depends on how you define enjoyment. Did I have fun? Honestly, I don't think I did. But I think the piece was worth listening to. It'll stay with me for quite some time. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I can't say yet.
It wasn't an easy experience.
Another puff and a cloud of smoke covers the dense fog.
I've seen some dark things too. Heard things about myself that I didn't want to hear.
Like what?
Not that I'm wasting my time here at the university. That I'm living a life that's not for me. That I never had courage to change anything. Dense and hazy, the smoke hangs over us like a blanket or a heavy curtain, pinning us down to the couch we sit on.
These are heavy thoughts. But you're not stuck, you know. I think you're holding yourself back because you don't believe in yourself, that you could succeed with something.
I don't have many things I've succeeded with.
That shouldn't deter you from trying. If you don't try, you won't succeed with anything. You believe you don't have enough courage. Doesn't mean you don't.
Bubbles travel through the water behind the hazy azure glass. I take another puff, vapour inflating my lungs.
I never had any success with photography. I'm just taking photos, looking at those photos, reading books, coming with ideas in hope that someday something will come out of it. Meanwhile, you took a camera and did some cool shots just like that. You're selling yourself short.
Possibly. I find it hard to believe. Nothing I can do can earn me any money. I need money to stay alive, don't I?
Jurgen's words from today's breakfast come back to me. Capitalism wants to make us think we're worth what we earn. Our value isn't limited to our productivity.
Well, where lies our value then?
I don't think smoking is good for him. I have to take him out of here and back outside. Gulping down the sickly sweet green tea, I lean on the bear. He moves closer to me, draping an arm around me. Sorry for asking about this. I can tell it's not easy for you.
Well, don't be. We all have some demons, don't we? And tonight they're a bit more confrontational than usual.
It's good to face them sometimes. It's good to have support with that. Just don't let them beat you over the head. They're just you being critical of yourself.
I see it now, yeah. I understood I have to change something in my life. Start a new chapter if I want to move on from the place where I am right now. And I want to move on. I wasn't particularly happy there for the last few years. These were pages from the journalistic section of my notebook that I tore out and threw in the sea while I was sitting at the coast. I understood that remembering those thoughts isn't going to do me any good. And I feel much better now. Lighter. I'm sorry to hear, really. Well, I'm feeling hopeful. I feel like things are in my paws finally.
Do you want to head back outside soon? Such a nice, quiet night.
Yeah, I liked it there. Honestly, I feel a bit claustrophobic here. Oh, staying together like that is nice.
It is. The fact that Bjorn says it out loud and ties some tight knots inside me and I feel at ease finally. Though, moments later, anxiety grips my throat. It's been a lovely evening together. Maybe it's time for me to make a move? Hey, did you ever consider dating a guy?
Well, I dated a guy once, actually.
Oh. And how did it go? Something wells up within me, warm but nauseating, like licorice sweets. Is it hope, or something else entirely? The cocktail of emotions swirling within me is intoxicating.
Well, not too well. I stopped seeing him after a month.
Oh, there go my hopes.
Well, the circumstances weren't the best, and he was a tad weird. Overall, I think I'm happy it didn't work out, but it's not like I wouldn't try it again. I've had other things on my mind lately, though, like tests that I'm failing. Oh, why'd you ask, though?
The knots in my throat tighten again, but the bear's smile, sweet and expectant, reassures me. Is there something between us? The way I feel spending time with him, the warmth spreading through my body when he snuggles me into himself, they're all new to me. I can't grasp them fully. Like burning coal I try touching with bare paws. Isn't it too early to ask? If I'm sure I'd like to try, if we're here at this moment, basically snuggling, then what am I waiting for? Yawn. I say his name in my head before my lips start moving. Would you like to try again? With me, maybe?
Can you give me some more time? I don't know what to do with the studies yet.
I see.
Hey, don't be sad. It's not a no. I just feel it'd be unfair to say yes when I have no idea what my near future looks like.
I don't think we can ever plan anything, you know.
Oh, no. Still, I'd like to know if I'm failing a year first. I have no idea what I'll do with myself otherwise, but it's a different topic. I like you a lot. I haven't had a vibe like this with anyone yet, ever. And you are a cutie. So, can you wait for the answer?
I only nod, my heart aching and protesting. What can I do but wait? He leans in, his nose touching mine playfully. I couldn't take my eyes off his even if I wanted to. They're big, brown and beautiful. It feels like I'm looking into them for the first time. A smile of his. Only now I'm beginning to grasp how precious it is for me. We both hesitate, struggling against the ropes that keep us at bay. With each of us mingling breaths as they snap one by one, until finally our lips join. Dawn Chorus. That was the latest update. Wow. It was one of those ones it's very easy to read. I'm actually looking at my watch. I didn't realize how much time had passed while I was reading this one. I really got caught up in it. So hopefully you're going to look at the time and realise, oh wow, that time really went by you listening. Hopefully anyway. But I'm not sure when the next Bjorn update is coming out, but I will get to it as soon as I can after it comes out. And don't forget you can find Dawn Chorus on itch.io and go and read the other routes which I'm not covering on the channel. Or maybe go to their Patreon and help support them. Always a good idea. So coming up next on the channel, we should hopefully maybe have the rest of Far Beyond the World. I'm just trying to fit it in when I have some time. And it's been an extremely busy week. I wasn't expecting it to be so busy, but it was. It's good. So I'll see what I can do, and then next Saturday, let me check. Yeah, next Saturday is Spectrum of Hybrids. We're finally getting back to that. It's going to be earlier this month, but yeah, a lot more VNs came out than I expected. So doing that, and then on the 30th, we'll get an extra one on the Monday. That will be a new VN called Sanctuary. And then I think By Your Hands is the next one. I need to check on that. And then in October we have Trainwreck coming up. If I told Harmonious, I must check on that, but I have that on the schedule as well. There's a whole load of stuff going on here that I will put in track. And at this point, I always like to say thank you to all my donors on Ko-fi and Patreon. Special mention to Noonster, who gave me some money on Ko-fi. Very much appreciated there. And as always, big thank you to my top patrons: Omar, Rafu, Spiderling, Samuto, Tiger Cup, Ara Amaterasu, Vulpers Need Coffee, Adiver, Mohammed Al-Zamel, Mario Cervantes, Matt Kenya, Kartek, Evan King, Eda Corval, Harvest Mouse Productions, Grizz, Exact, Dissonance, Cobus Visser, Brian Hall, Bieka, Bastian, Aaron Fox, and Andy Peng. So thank you to all of you for being such a help to the channel. I really do appreciate all of you actually are able to financially help, but thank you if you're just watching and giving the numbers. It makes me feel like I'm not wasting my time doing these. So that is it for this weekend. Hopefully we'll have everything for the second part of chapter 14, Far Beyond the World during the week, and definitely Spectrum Hybrid on the weekend. That's it. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.